Going on, everybody? Hope you're having a good one, even though not 7 to 10. Hey, I know that's not the case, but hey, gotta keep on grinding, gotta keep on getting better, gotta keep on living. Let's begin. Let's start it up. I realized something. I was looking back at a lot of my old videos, and not gonna lie, I definitely sounded like I did not know what I was talking about. Down to the down to the pauses, down to everything. No energy. No energy. I was watching it, and I was absolutely just dumbfounded. How just, annoying that was. How annoying it was. Because if I'm making stuff like that for 10 minutes long, how do I expect any sort of response, any sort of emotion, anything coming out of it, man? How do I expect that? I don't. So that's why today is going to be a different day. We're going to have a little bit more energy. We're going to have a little bit more just excitement. And because at the end of the day, this is what I'm teaching. I have to understand what I'm teaching is what I'm teaching. And what I'm teaching y'all is exactly what you guys need to know. And so with that being said, we're going to talk about sales, getting into sales as a beginner. And this is a very touchy subject because a lot of people, when they start seeing it, especially like on Instagram, you could do 10K a month, all these ads that pop up, you get some sort of little leniency, some sort of like hesitation. You get hesitation because you see it and you're just like, oh, this looks like a scam, like right off the jump. Like, how am I supposed to make 10K a month? Or how am I supposed to actually do like this? This makes no sense. But then you go back to your phone scrolling, hours and hours on end, and then you're nowhere. So it's either one or the other. What is it going to be? One interesting thing, and this is where we're going to tie into, when you want to begin in sales, when you want to get into sales, the biggest thing that I realized that absolutely helped me was I joined a training group. Now, what is a training group? What does it look like? How does it run? How does it work? Training groups usually run on Twitter, on Instagram, whatever group handle, whatever group chat that they have, right? It's basically a portal, and you have a bunch of different training episodes, a bunch of different, someone is hosting an entire community filled with a bunch of sales experts, filled with a bunch of people that want to get into it, and filled with a bunch of information. And that's basically what it is. And with that being said comes opportunities. Sometimes when you join a sales group, you're going to get a lot of opportunities that come in because they only curate it to that group. And that's sort of what builds that value, because if you're in that group, you're with a bunch of other dogs, people that want to get there, people that want to get to where they want to be. And that's why they're providing the value there, because they know these guys are hungry. It's not some random person out on the street that wants to be a closer, whatever that may be, right? Now, training groups might have a price. And this is what I'm going to bring up, because a lot of people, when they start seeing the price, or like somebody's texting them on Instagram, like, hey, are you actually interested about this? Hey, like, is this something you want to talk about? Blah, blah, blah. And they're like, yeah, what's the price? And you use that as your main sort of determining factor whether you should do it or not. Now, a lot of people are not going to like this. And by all means, whatever, it is what it is. But for the ones that actually listen to this specifically, I really want you to get this. I really want you to get this down to the point where it is so easy to think about. You don't have to even worry. That is the last of your worries, right? You spend over hundreds of thousands of dollars going to college, going on Quizlet, going on all these little things to pass your grades, pass your classes, not even remember anything. You just want the A. You just want that A. But no, you get a C. That's how it works. And then you start thinking, C's get degrees. And I'm like, okay. So that means if I put half of the effort and I still keep it going, I can actually pass. And then I can actually have a paper that tells me, I actually know this, which I don't. And so maybe I can join this, company and give them this paper, and then realize, halfway through, it's on the job training. And then I'm also $100,000 in debt. Oh my God, I have to actually save up now. I have to actually get, pay that off. I actually have to know my job. It's crazy, right? In comparison to paying just a few thousand for a group, a few hundred for a group, a few dollars for a group, because there's groups out there. That's the difference you have to have. And knowing that when you pay for that, you are getting a whole network of people that are constantly doing stuff, that are constantly honing on their skill, that want to be there, not because, mommy and daddy wanted them to go there, right? That's the difference that you need to keep in mind, right? But aside from that, investing in a mentor, very, very important. I can't tell you how important this is, because when you go into it, you're going to be lost. You're going to be like, and this is another thing, people join those groups And then they get so flustered because they're like, oh my God, all this stuff. And what are they even talking about? Like, what is an SOP? What is an inbound, outbound? And then you're going to get so flustered. Get yourself a mentor that is in the same field that you want to be in. And how do you get those? Join the training group. Find someone that you absolutely want to be, that you see has a lot of knowledge and is absolutely killing it. Hit them up. Find ways to provide value for them so you can, get that mentoring. Because that's when you also open your mind to so much. That's when you open your mind to everything that's possible, because he's going to show you, or she's going to show you what is possible. And that's what those groups show you, because the groups also post wins sometimes. So people that are actually winning in the industry, which it's a lot of us, we're going to be winning regardless. But when you start and you see people consistently winning, and you're starting to get put into the system of procedures, you're starting to get maybe cold calling, stuff like that. That's when you're starting to see, okay, this makes sense. This is how people are actually making it out here. And that's how it works. It's so much better. It is so much better. This goes down to this, right? Aside from the groups, you don't want to be in a group. That's fine. You have some at least sales experience. Maybe you're teaching someone, how to sell some fucking chips. Or maybe you're the guy that was selling candy in school, right? And you're like, I don't need none of that. I'm just going to go into an offer and raw dog it. I'm going to figure it out, right? Twitter is a great place to start. Instagram is a great place to start. But Twitter is basically the funnel, because Twitter has people, it has track of how many mentions, how many replies. You type up, say, sales, right? Type up sales. You see all the gurus. Go through every single guru, see who they respond to, click on their names, click on the people that you want to potentially work with that you don't know entirely what they're doing, but you at least, want some sort of interest. Sending out a loom. You send out a video loom stating your name, what you want, exactly how you can provide value to them, and what is the sort of environment that you're in, what exactly, basically you're introducing yourself as an interview. You send out that loom to maybe 40 people. I guarantee you will have more responses than you can think. And those responses mean meetings, mean interviews mean actually getting the job and setting yourself up to start as a beginner. Now, it's so hard. I know a lot of people, when they're probably seeing this, are like, yeah, you said that yourself, I joined a training group. That was actually free in the beginning and now is charging. And when I joined that training group, I started realizing, I was like, oh my God, I think the free thing also helped, because I was in that same mindset as you. I was like, oh man, I don't know if I should even, spend this. And it was only like $49 a month. And I'm like, dude, that's literally like 2 out dinners or something like that. You know what I'm saying? So sending out looms like that will give you a great start. And if you have any specific questions, I'd say write them down. So get a pen and a paper right now. Write them down. Send me a DM and we'll have a conversation. I'll specifically put time aside and I'll talk to you exactly how all this worked, how I got into it. And find the last one, the last little thing. Find a solid group of 3. Find your dogs, find your boys. These could be people even outside of the industry, people that are actually your friends that don't want to be bums, that want to actually make money, want to figure out how to make money, how to be a better person. Find 3 solid people that you can consistently go to war with, basically, in this industry. Find 3 solid people that you can turn your back, basically go to them. Find those 3, stick with them throughout the entire process. Keep it going, build up your circle, make sure your circle's tight. But those 3 people, if you know and you trust those people and you trust, that they're going to keep you accountable, and you as well, it'll mean so much. It'll make everything better. Because another thing is, nobody wants to do this by themselves. A lot of my mentors told me this, and the specific one in my group, it's all 3 of them, and they started the whole thing together. But they said, why do this alone when you could do it with a few of your friends that you actually enjoy being around, and then you guys build something up together and it's actually fun, instead of just doing it by yourself. I have about, 3 solid people that I can go to, and I can talk like, hey man, it's just been a bad day, and then they remind me how much of a bitch I am, and then I get right back onto it. Because that's exactly what you need. You need people that aren't gonna be like, oh, you're all good, let's just go, let's just go watch movies or something. No, they're like, nah, dude. All right, feel those emotions out, get it out. Okay, let's get back to it. There's no point of you fucking bitching about it, because all you're doing is just you're prolonging your fucking feelings. Who cares? Get after it. That's the whole point of, being a man. That's the whole point of doing exactly what you got to do, because you specifically said you were going to do this, so you need to do it. And part of me recording these videos is me also holding myself accountable, because a lot of times, we all get it. We all get through those moments where, you're saying and you feel like a hypocrite, all that stuff. That's fine. That is fine. But it's when you hold yourself accountable consistently, day after day after day after day, and you do stuff like these, it also builds up. But aside from that, that is sort of my take on how to get into sales as a beginner. Those 3 to 4 things. And I highly recommend check out a group. Please get into a group with an open mind and see what is possible for yourself. You're going to get in a lot of scenarios with this where it's a whole new field, and it's going to be a lot of different things where you're just like, whoa, this feels weird. Like, I really don't think this is right for me. It's exactly right for you, because it is your limiting mindset that is responding to you for being in an area that you don't know. Basically, those fears that you have, those fears of, I'm never going to make that money back. I'm never going to, what if they're going to scam me, stuff like that. Those are the fears. Those are the limiting caps above you that are basically keeping you there, because they don't want you to change. They want you to stay the exact same person. The next thing you know, 2 years going to go by, and you're going to see one of your friends that he decided to do it, but you didn't. And you're going to see he's doing very well for himself. He has his own place. He's able to, take care of himself. He's, pushing 30K a month, stuff like that. That's exactly where I want to be. And that's exactly where I'm going to be. But that's the whole point. That's the whole point. So if you have any specific questions, also, if you need accountability, any sort of mentoring, and by that, I'm talking about once a week for 1 hour, we talk about everything that's going on with you as a whole. If there's anything, you're working towards, or just someone you need to talk to, basically. Now, I'm not going to sit there and just be like, oh, like poor thing. No, we're going to be like, okay, that's exactly what you're having a hard time with. All right, what's the next steps? And I'm going to text you throughout the week and be like, hey, did you do this? Did you do that? What is the next steps for that? All right, you share a great, win with me. I'm going to celebrate with you. I'm going to be like, hell yeah. Okay, now what's after that? Because everything has a counter move. Shout out to you, Bradley, for that. I appreciate you. But yeah, so aside from that, man, I hope you guys have a good rest of your day. Think about it. Write all that stuff down. Ask the questions you need to ask me, and I will be certain to respond back to you. But aside from that, hope you guys have a good day one more time. And from the top of war where boundaries still don't exist, the bottom of the depths where life still lives, do you dare to dream? Not even fuck that. Do you dare to take the next step? Because that's the end of this. Appreciate you guys.